my role in the season ticket campaign was to sort of coordinate the project. When we started brainstorming ideas, we really wanted to sort of take a fresh approach to the design and the theme of the campaign. There's been a lot of positive change in the club over the past 6 months, so really wanted to sort of reinforce that in the project. We also wanted to sort of get across like the hard work that goes on behind the scenes and sort of show a different light to the community in Easter Road as a stadium. We decided to collaborate with local creators for the content for the project. When we were looking for music, we came across the Dark Jokes track Hold It On. We listened to the lyrics and we felt it really sort of tied in with the theme of the campaign. So we approached the band and they agreed to let us use the track.
It wasn't my lyrics, it was my brother that wrote the lyrics for that track. However, obviously he wasn't writing about selling season tickets, funnily enough, but it does seem to have some kind of coherence with the message of the song, and certainly the way it's been, the way the video's been shot and the sort of quite uplifting kind of way it's been edited, the tune definitely fits it, and I'd say the lyrics do as well. It does seem to have some kind of connection there. It's definitely a nice sort of piece of cinematography, all these aerial shots and whatnot, it puts, slices together, it is, you know, quite nice viewing just for any punter for Leith, I'm sure, regardless of what kind of club you affiliate yourself with. But yeah, so to have the music along with such a nice short film is also a positive. Getting any amount of recognition for the work you put out there is always good. But aye, when Hibs get in touch and ask us to use some music, I mean, Hibs is a club I grew up supporting, so for that it definitely was. Aye, it was a highlight so far.
For the brochure and website, we've got Martin Sweeney from Unstable Creations in. Really wanted to bring the brochure from a traditional printed format into a more modern web format.
Approached by Hibs to first of all to do the brochure for the season ticket campaign. We spent a bit of time creating the look and feel the campaign. Basically take the design from the brochure and turn it into a website for the campaign. So we created a full website, but also we had to take the mobile versions and the tablet versions into account, you know, so it's quite a big project. I knew that the graphics would be used probably over social media and on web and possibly billboards or posters or whatever, you know, so I designed the whole campaign to be flexible so it could be used on a variety of different media, you know. So with that in mind, I created a modular system so that all the elements of the brochure were modular, so that it meant when it went onto a website we could take those modules and transfer them onto screen. It would work exactly the same way.
For the photography for the campaign, we got Cameron Allen in, who's one of our match photographers. We really wanted him to do some more artistic shots of the players and the structural shots of the stadium.
The idea of the project was to look at the club going forward and basically building on from where we've come from last season, and the best place to build from is here, sort of focusing on Leith and on, you know, the stadium, because we have got a good facility here and we've got a good facility at the training centre as well, so we're just focusing on that. Looking at the stadium in a way that I wouldn't be able to do on a match day because you've more access, it was empty, and just really try and bring out the best in it.
When it came to filming the promotional video for the campaign, we had a look online and we came across John Duncan in his Beautiful Scotland film. We were blown away by it and really thought we could bring some of that aerial footage into Easter Road and give a different perspective on the stadium.
So my name's John, and I'm a filmmaker based in Edinburgh. So I was asked by Hibs to do the promotional video for the season ticket launch. Filming at the stadium was great. So we used a drone, and I also used a handheld stabiliser called a Ronin. So it's like a gimbal for the camera, and what that does, it just allows you to get really smooth and I guess kind of dynamic shots. I had a good idea fairly early on what I kind of wanted, so it was always going to be quite a lot of drone shots of the stadium and out at the training ground. Also the very last shot when he scores the goal, there's a nice little sequence there, and then the drone rises up and it kind of exposes Leith. So that was, yeah, these shots were, I always had them in mind when you guys first got in touch. It was great coming to Easter Road to do the recce because it allowed me to see and get a feel for the place. And it was when we actually came up to this kind of exact spot and we looked out and I could see Leith and Arthur's Seat. So I knew that this was something that I wanted to do. So yeah, filming this it's been challenging at times just because of the weather. So it's often been very windy, and for when we use the drone, it's not really ideal. Also, the seagulls caused a bit of a problem. They tried to kind of dive bomb the drone a couple of times. So yeah, we only took a few takes. Unfortunately, we got the shot pretty fast. Otherwise, it might have come in contact with a seagull. So yeah, the opening sequence when Malonga comes at the tunnel, it was always something that I'd had in my head. And in the changing room, we just killed all the lights and we just had one light just to the side of him. So it just really kind of highlights the features of the striker. So yeah, I think it creates like a bit of kind of anticipation as they're kind of like mentally preparing maybe for like a match. And then when he comes out the tunnel, what we did is we just shut off all the lights in the ground itself, but had the main stadium lights on. And then with the gimbal, we just followed him out, and that allowed us to get a really smooth shot. So first of all, it focuses on his feet, and then it rises up to his back, and then you just see the lights of the stadium just kind of flaring as he comes out, and I think it worked. I'm so happy how it worked. The shots at the stadium were quite set up, and I had a good idea of what I wanted. Out at the training centre, I wanted it to be a bit more loose, so it was more of a kind of a sort of run and gun style of shooting, a bit more kind of documentary, so just picking up and reacting to kind of as things happened, which I think worked really well. We used the drone to get some really good shots, obviously from the air, but I think it gave us a real kind of sense of scale of the place. So it was nice to come up with some ideas that I could put forward, and yeah, now that the video's done, I'm really happy with how it turned out.
So far we've had some great feedback for the campaign. Really hope we've created something both memorable and inspirational for the fans.